Hello everybody, Ray Garner with Garner's Games here. Do my weekly comic review. Time for some Ultimate Wolverine, number 1. This book is brought to us by, and I want to hope I get these names right, Chris Condon and Alessandro Cappuccio. I think that's Cappuccio. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's Cappuccio. That's our artist. This is a highly anticipated book. The Ultimate Universe has been extremely successful, especially with the advent of Ultimate Spider-Man being probably the best book in the Ultimate Universe ever on any version of it. Of course, this continues on with the maker has gone back in time and set things up just the way he likes it. And we're dealing in, let's see, was it the Eurasian Republic, which is ruled with an iron fist by Colossus, Magic, and October Red. The trio have created basically an X division, and we start off. We're on a plane with Wolverine. The soldiers talking about him, and they have all kinds of various theories about different things, how he became to be. He stands up and does the Captain America man thing from the movie where he opens up the back of the plane and just dives out without a chute. Now, the other thing that was a little disjointing when I first read this is that we have flashbacks that seem to happen as we're going, but it's more mental flashbacks for Logan. But there won't be any declaration that, hey, this is a flashback. Because this is a flashback right here. And apparently they bombed this area big time. Not supposed to be any survivors. But then there's a body dragging itself across the snow as these soldiers approach it, and even one of them sticks a gun to its head and shoots it. And then we immediately cut back to diving through the sky, headed to a church. Some people on guard duty. They are very, very quickly dispensed with by Wolverine. And then we get our first image of Mystique and Nightcrawler. So in this universe, Nightcrawler is still a priest, and Mystique is still a soldier. Then we flip to the next panel, and our next page, I should say, and we're immediately back, flashbacking again. Just on a personal note, I have gotten very, very tired over the last probably 20 years now that Colossus is almost consistently at least a partial bad guy or a very gray to character. So just personal note, I'm tired of the guy who used to be the sweet, innocent, super nice Russian guy who has now turned into this bitter Russian guy. And he shows up, and Kurt starts saying he recognizes him. The fight ensues. It's a very, very one-sided fight. And as they're closing in on Mystique, she ducks around the corner and transforms herself to look like Colossus, knowing that that's basically the Lord Commander of the project that's got Logan. The thing is, of course, Logan, smelling the air, very quickly figures out that that's not actually Colossus. They have a pretty good fight for, I don't know, about 5-6 panels before he cuts his way through the gun and through her throat. Then we are once again flashbacking to him being, getting ready to be injected with the adamantium, although I don't think they actually refer to it. But they do call it the bone grafting experiment that had failed once before. Kurt tries to talk him down, talk about how he knows him, and then he apologizes and starts teleporting around. And we have a pretty good fight where Kurt's, shooting him up pretty good. But once again, using his heightened sense of smell, he's able to predict where Nightcrawler is going to appear at and stabs him through. Then we have this really kind of nice deal where Kurt's, feels bad about the whole situation. We came back for you. We would always come back for you. That's how he ends up dying. And he calls Logan his friend. Then we get another flashback of where they're kind of doing the whole mission briefing. Telling that these are the targets of interest. And then we cut back to the very end, where he's on the plane leaving. He's got his helmet off. He's smelling the blood on the sand, which of course is Nightcrawler's. And then we have Nightcrawler doing the prayer, which is how we end with him in, kind of deep thought. The art is really kind of, appropriate for this character. It's a little grittier. Definitely very bloody. I don't really have any real complaints about the book. It is, though, pretty obvious the direction we're going. They even referred to him as the Winter Soldier at one point because they wiped his mind with a telepath. And it's going to be, he's going to start regaining his memories. I'm not sure how long it'll be. And then he's going to turn against Colossus and magic. So, really good launch off for the series. I dislike the fact that Logan does not actually have a single line in the book. So we are going with the super dark, super gritty, super, almost the 1980s action movies where we don't actually have lines for our main character because he's hired because he looks freaking awesome. But maybe it's got a little bit of problem doing dialogue. So very much that vibe. If you have liked Wolverine when he is an awesome killing machine, if you've liked him where he's the repentant hero or the guy who's got his brain is so jacked up that he's having a hard time thinking, this book is great. I really think people will like this book. I really was surprised how much I like this. It's a really good rendition of Wolverine. He's not the 9 invulnerable god of all mutants, although his healing factor is at the level that I'm not always happy with, where he can almost regenerate from a single cell organ. But it works in this context to explain why he's still alive against some of the stuff and why he can survive some of the stuff. Really check this book out. I think everybody will like it. As always, he's the best at what he does. And what he does ain't pretty. So check it out and enjoy. See you next week.